Hello, hello. God, that's out of focus. Let's fix that. There we go. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Dave. Hey, Bo. Hopefully we'll get a few more people on soon. Hey, Catcom. You're new. Welcome. Hey, Westside. Hey, mean one. So how is everybody doing? Sorry about getting the lot list out so late. Gonna be a long night driving. Well, at least you're used to driving. Yeah, apparently at some point this week I lost a day because I thought I had one more day left to get the list done. And then I realized what day it was, and I was like, oh, crap. We're going to give it a little bit longer. We're starting to get some people on. We're up to 6 now. You're still included in the lot list, as far as I know. I can check real quick. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, no, you're not on there. Let me throw that back in there. Alright, I just added it back on. I don't know when it got taken off. Yeah, Bo, that's why I always let everybody know to check the spam. Because I do send it out as a spam mail. Trying to send that thing individually to every single person would take a really long time. There's like probably, God, I don't know, probably 100 people on that list at least. There should be a way though that you can add me to your saved contacts or whatever, and that makes sure that it goes to your inbox every time, so it knows it's not spam. I think. Hey, Vino. Alright, I'm going to give it 5 more minutes and then we'll get this thing going. Oop, I gotta grab something real quick. Give me 1 sec. Gotta make sure I got the phone with me in case the wife texts. Want her to get home and be like, why didn't you answer? Gotta keep the wife happy. Alright, 3 more minutes. Surprisingly, for emailing the list out this morning, we did pretty good on pre-sales this week. There's only 53 lots left for the actual stream. I'm definitely not complaining. Maybe you guys will go get your one sellout for the month. We haven't had one yet this month. If you do, I'll just add it to the last one because I still haven't done the giveaway for the last one. I'll just add the two together. That way when I get something for it, I'll get something a little better. Hey, Walter. And yes, don't worry, I have not forgotten about the giveaway we had last month. I haven't done the sellout we had last month. And that I haven't done the giveaway yet. I'm aware. Just been watching for the right thing, you know? I don't want to give away something normal and basic. I want to make it good. Trying to get more interesting with it. One minute. Alright, for anybody new, payments made via PayPal. Use Cheapskate Coins at gmail.com and use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App using the same email. Cheapskate Coins at gmail.com. We do also have Venmo now. Let me get that real quick. Go. Also at Cheapskate Coins. If you use Cash App or Venmo, it will say Louis Cachera. That's me. You are in the right place. Shipping is $6 to $26. $6 being a little purple bubble mailers, $26 being a large flat rate box. If you want your package sent registered, there's an additional $45 charge on top of that. Is the only way we can send, or you can insure your coins all the way through the mail. And keep in mind, if you do registered, you will have to sign for it when it arrives. If you're new, you can't get stuff tonight, you just have to email us by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, your channel name, so we know who you are. That is the main thing that people forget to put in their emails, is their channel name. So I'm like, yeah, great, who are you? Unless, obviously, like, their name matches their channel name, then it's obvious. But, you know, especially if your name doesn't match your channel name, tell me who you are on the channel. So that way I know that it's you. And then, of course, it has to have which payment method you're going to use and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If we don't get that email, you will not get anything, and we never ship without payments. Right, here is our Facebook link. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. I do put the lot list on there every day we have a sale. We also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will normally get the sale a day or two before, you'll get the lot list a day or two before every sale. And as soon as it hits your email, you have the ability to pre-purchase items. We do not charge right away for pre-purchase. We wait until the night of the sale, and then we invoice everybody together. It's first come, first serve on the pre-sales, just like during our sale. So if you want something, don't wait, jump on it. Make sure you check down in our description section for the rest of our rules and policies. Hey, Jetmec. Hey, Danny Dave. Yeah, she's doing all right. All right. Let's get this thing going. We are kicking off, as always, with banknotes. And first three are from a country we've never had. that I remember. They are going to be from Serbia, which is kind of cool. Hey, Zeke. All right, first one is a 2014 50 dinara from Serbia. Going for $2. That's quite the goatee right there. Anybody? Oop, upside down. Hey, Moose Socks. All right, moving on. Next up is a 2013 100 dinara from Serbia. This one's cool because y'all know who that is. Nikola Tesla. But did you know he was from Serbia? Just like Einstein had his own famous equation, that is Tesla's famous equation. And this one's going to Walter. Congrats, sir. Get in there. All right. And then our last one from Serbia is 2013 200 dinara. Going for $2. Oh, that's the 50. There we go. Here's the right one. This one I do not know right off who that one is. Anybody? Oh, that's upright. It's like this. There we go. All right, moving on. Anybody decides you want those other two Serbias, let me know. All right, next up we have one banknote tonight from Germany. It is a 1933 50 marks. Oh yeah, we would add free energy right now if it wasn't for for Edison. Anybody? raise this camera higher. This one's going to Wayne. Congrats, sir. Where the heck did your card go? One second. There it is. Found it. Alright. Alright, give me a second. I need to raise this light up, or the camera up, because these banknotes are just getting bigger as we go, size-wise. Alright, and now the rest of the banknotes for tonight are from France. Kicking off with 1982 100 francs. France always has like the coolest artwork on their banknotes. That time I scroll, no, that's what those look like normally. All right, moving on. Next up is a 1990 100 francs. Going for $2. All right, moving on. All right, next up, we got a 1984 200 francs. And then I'll actually go ahead and link this right now because we also have the 87, which is the exact same design. So we have it in the 84 and the 87. Both with this design. Always with that awesome artwork. And then here's the other one. And props to whoever did the engraving of the plates in France to print these things. That had to have been a task. moving on. All right, and the last two are 500 francs. These are 1980 and 85. And again, $2 a piece. Here's the 80. And then here is the 85. That is a seriously low serial number. Oh wait, that's the whole serial number. Okay, that makes more sense. So it just shows part of it at the beginning. I thought that was the whole serial number for a second. Nope, that's the entire thing. You guys hear Volkswagen is switching over one of their manufacturing workshops or to stop making Volkswagen stuff, and they're going to start making interceptor missiles for Iran, or not Iran, for Israel, because they're running out. All right, moving on. If you decide you want any of those banknotes, let me know. Ooh, one of my nameplates fell out. Put that back later. All right. All the gold backs went in pre-sale, so we are now on to coinage. All right, we had two of these available. One went in pre-sale, so there is one left. It's a 1919 large cent. Ooh, let me get back down again. Always with the fun of getting the light to work. Oop, focus. Wrong way. There we go. Huzzah! Over $5. Probably. I know Hitler had a hand in the design of the VW Beetle. Anybody? All right, moving on. Oh, Walter coming in on that one. Walter, you already got one. Are you sure you want both? You were the one that got the other one in pre-sale. Yep, okay. Just wanted to make sure. right, Silver Canada. There's only 2 left. Most of the Silver Canada went in pre-sale. So, all right. And these are both 1952 10 centers. One is in a VF for $5. And one is an EF for $6. Both 80% silver. There's the VF. That's the $5 one. And then here is the EF. That's the $6 one. Oh, looks like it's got some album toning going on. It's not showing up very well. Let me do the scope on these. There we go. Now you can see it better. So this is the EF. This is the $6 one. And then this is the VF. Any takers? Did they? Yeah, they did. Yes, well, yeah, Ferdinand Porsche designed the original Volkswagen Beetle, commissioned by Adolf Hitler in 1934 to create an affordable people's car. All right, moving on. All right, next up, we got one from Switzerland. This one is a 1920, 2 francs. More than 100 years old on this one. Oh, Dandy Dave's been in that VF on the dimes. You got it, sir. Let me pull that bag out real fast. There we go. All right. All right, 83.5% silver in VG, going for $22. You are very welcome, sir. 106-year-old coin right there. I bet you won't look that good at 106. Going to Dandy Dave. You got it, sir. All right. All right. Next up, this is the second most expensive item on the list this week. is the 1975 Balboa from Panama. 925 sterling silver BU, $90. This thing has just a smidge of 1 ounce, or just a smidge over 1 ounce of silver in it. Anybody? Yeah, almost. It's definitely got a mirror finish going on. Considering you can see the reflection of my finger in it. All right, last call on this one. And we are moving on. Wow, nobody. That's surprising. It's very rare that these ever actually make it through a sale without selling. All right, moving on. All right, this next one, here's another first for us. We have never had this coin before, and I hate that I have to sell it because I would love to keep it. This is a 1981 pound from Egypt. 72% silver, BU, 90,000 minted. This thing is gorgeous. I'm honestly amazed this thing even made it through pre-sale. Anybody? Only 90,000 people on the entire planet will ever have an opportunity to own one of these. I do. I'm fascinated with Egyptian history. Not like modern day, like I don't pay attention on what's going on in Egypt now. I don't really care. But, you know, the Egyptian history, the time of the pharaohs, all that. I just love that history. I love their architecture, the way that they built their stuff, the pyramids, all that stuff. I just find it fascinating. Hey, Bill 457. I haven't seen you in ages. How have you been? All right, last call on this one. $50. All right, moving on. Reminds you of a high school teacher I had who visited the pyramids. Cool. Rick Snow's been to the pyramids. Him and his son took a trip to Egypt last year or the year before. And they saw the Egypt and Karnak and Abu Simbel and all those. I was jealous. But he came back with coins for me, so he actually gifted me some coins from over there when he got back. So that was cool. He's got this cool little box in his office. I think I've shown it during one of the streams I did with him, or one of the videos I did with him. It's completely made out of jade. It's got a rabbit on top, and inside of it is a little tiny piece of the limestone from the pyramid, which is pretty cool. Alright, moving on to Australia. Kicking off is a 1921 sixpence. 925 sterling silver VG, $8. I think I have shown that in a video before. That when I did one of the videos or one of the streams with Rick. I don't know, you'd have to go back and watch the videos and streams I did with him. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next one up, we got two available. These are 1942 Ds. They are both AUs and $10 each. Here is number one. And here is the number two. Anybody? All right, moving on. Oops. All right, next up is the 42 plain date AU for $12. You ever noticed in the 40s the plain date Australias are all higher value? It's always the one you want to look for is the ones without mint marks. Yep. And this one's got some weird stuff going on with it. I didn't take the time to really look it up. But like, it's got this little weird swivel right here. So like, if you look at the others, here's the reverse of the other. That's not there. No idea what made that. Maybe a strike through or something. It's too big to be a die clash. Definitely different. This one's going to mean one. Congrats, oh, I have no doubt. You used to get a bunch. All right. Next up is the 42S. AU, $10. Hey, Ashes. Made at the San Francisco Mint. That is the San Francisco Mint mark. We used to make some of their coins. The ones with the D's are the Denver Mint mark. All right, moving on. And the next up, 1943S. This one is a blingin' BU. Over $15. Check that out. That is a gorgeous coin right there. That we were. And we made some good money off of it. All right, moving on. Man, no love for Australia. All right, last one from Australia. 1963 sixpence. This is from the 50% silver years. This one's in a VF for $5. Alright, moving on. If anybody decides you want any of that, let me know. I could probably work out a bundle deal for some of the Australia if anybody wants a bundle deal on it. Just let me know. Alright, we are moving on. Let's see. Sweden went in pre-sale, so we are moving on to Netherlands. Alright, first one from Netherlands. We got 3 available. 2 of them are EFs for $4. These are 1936, 10 cents. So 2 of those, and then we have one that's AU for $6. 64% silver. Alright, there is EF number 1. There's EF number 2. Do you guys know the current Prime Minister of the Netherlands is only 38? And then here is the AU. This is the $6 one. And there's a die crack going from her chin to the letter there. This one's going to Danny Dave. Congrats, sir. Alright, so that leaves the 2 EFs. Anybody want either one of them? Former rapper just became the Prime Minister of Nepal. Hey, whatever works. Why not? Was it the Prime Minister of Japan? Was like a singer or something before becoming the head of Japan. It's gonna bug me now. Let me look at that real quick. Yeah, okay, I know that. Thank you. Sorry, I'm seeing if I can look up what she did before. Learn how to spell. Yeah, oh yeah. She was a former heavy metal drummer and a motorcycle enthusiast. Now she's the Prime Minister of Japan. So don't mess with the Prime Minister of Japan. She can kill you with a drumstick. Alright, we are moving on. Alright, Alright, next one up, we have 2 available. These are both going to be AUs. 1938s. They are $6 a piece. Here is number 1. And here is a number 2. Dandy Dave's been in number 1. You got it, sir. Anybody on number 2? You're very welcome. All right, moving on. And the last one from Netherlands is the 1941 AU. Also going for $6. Anybody? How about you, Dandy Dave? What's behind her neck? Talking about right here? That's just toning. All right, moving on. If you decide you want any more of the Netherlands, let me know. All right, next up, we have 1 coin from the Dominican Republic. It is the 1939 10 centavo. 90% silver, VG, only 150,000 of these were minted. And it is going for $25. Oop, this way. And you can almost see there's actually some toning in there. You can see like blue right around the shield, and then it goes into like yellows and oranges on the outside. Very cool toning. If you like the colorful toning. Then over here it's more yellow and goes into like an orange. This thing's got the rainbow. I put up a post the other day. I don't want to get political on the channel too much, but I just threw up a channel or a thing on the channel that the 4 guys that are all causing most of the problems in the world are all over 70, and the leaders of the top 7 most peaceful countries in the world are all I think the oldest one is like 65 or something like that. And the rest of them are all younger. They're all Gen Xers except for the one guy that I mentioned before is a millennial. And those are the most peaceful countries. We need to put an age cutoff for president in our country, like at 65. You can't be president anymore. All right, moving on to Britain. I got a few Britain tonight. First one is a 1919 3 pence. This was the last year of the sterling silver. This one is in a fine for $5. Going to Walter Kratzer. Oh, next one is the 1943 pence. 50% silver AU toned. Going for $8. Anybody? Going to Dandy Dave Kratzer. All right, next up is 1945 6 pence. 50% silver VF $5. Screen was going wild with family stuff. Okay. Going to Danny Dave Kratzer. Right, next up, 1901. It's actually the last one from Britain. 1901 shilling. 50% silver in good. $14. This was the final year that Lady Victoria was on the coins. 1902, it switched over to King Edward. A little Queen Victoria for you guys there. I've had times I did it literally at the last second, and like it actually had the counter up, and it was the last second, and it still said I got outbid. You just found an 1888 half crown? Nice. Alright, moving on. Actually surprised nobody grabbed that one. Alright, next up is Mexico. Got 3 coins from Mexico. First one is the 1907 straight 7. 50 centavo, 80% silver, and fine at 25 bucks. So there's a straight 7 and a curved 7 for the dates. Also referred to as the large date and the small date. The straight 7 being the large date. Anybody? See, and I always found that annoying. Like, if you have a minimum, like, you know, you won't take under a certain number, just start it at that freaking number. Wow, no love for Mexico tonight, huh? Alright, moving on. Next up, this thing is gorgeous. You guys rarely ever see these looking like this. 1924 1 peso BU. 72% silver, 50 bucks. This thing is gorgeous. Very nice. Oh yeah, back when I first started this, silver was 17 bucks an ounce. And then right before COVID, it dropped down to like $13.50 an ounce. So whoever bought up a bunch of silver when it was that, if they still have it today, they're doing really good. Alright, moving on. To the 1941 peso. This one's in an AU for 50 bucks. If anybody wants both the 1 pesos, I will do a deal on both of them. For 80 bucks. If you get both, you save 20 bucks. So it's the BU 24 and the AU 1940. That is a good deal. Yeah. That was nice for sure. But, I mean, you gotta think, you know, when I first started doing this, like the melt for a $half was like $6.50 for a 90% silver $half. And now it's what, like 17 or 18 or something? Where's coinflation? Let me see. Oh no, even more. A $half now is $25.22. So that's just over 4 times more than what it was when I first started. 40% silver $half now are $10.31 as of right this second. 90% silver dollar melt is $53.93. The 40% silver Ikes are $22.05 just in melt. 40% silver $half, $10.31. Things have gone up, that's for sure. Oh, Aaron is bidding. Aaron, are you doing the deal? Are you doing the deal for both? Okay. Don't forget you haven't made your payment for this week for the consignment sale yet. Alright, so I'm going to make that one 30. That way the math adds up. There we go. Alright. So if anybody decides they want that 50 centavo, let me know. You broke yours up into 3 payments, didn't you? There was the one you paid, the one that I sent this week, and then there was supposed to be one more next week. Cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've only made one payment so far. That was on March 12th. You paid $158 on March 12th. The 158 payment that I sent you is on March 16th is still pending. And then next week you have the final payment of 159. So no, you've only made one payment. I can show you my screen if you don't believe me. Zeke's taking the straight 7. You got it, sir. Where'd that go? There it is. Boom. Zeke. All right, what was I doing? All right, Austria. We're on to Austria now. All right, kicking off Austria is the 1962 5 shilling. 83.5% silver, AU, 30 bucks. Thank you, sir. Yep, I got it. It went through this time. Thank you much. All right, moving on. To the 1964 50 shillings. This is the ski jump coin. It's actually a BU proof like. 90% silver, going for 50 bucks. It's got a nice toning patina all the way around the edge. And of course the always cool reverse of the big Austria coins. With all the shields. The gold one, that's the 500. All right, moving on. And the last one from Austria, 1976. 100 shilling. 64% silver, AU, 40 bucks. This one's from my birth year. Yeah, I've never seen one of them. I've never come across one. When gold used to be affordable. Gold has never been affordable to me. That's why I don't own any. All right, moving on. If anybody said you wanted the Austria, let me know. All right, that was the last of the Folio World Silver. Next one up is 1944 D 10 centavo USA Philippines. $75 silver, AU for $6. These are the coins, if you've never seen them, that are referred to as America's Lost Coins. From back when we used to own the Philippines. Kind of cool on the toning on it. It almost makes it look like a sunset behind her. All right, moving on. 76 was a good year. 50th anniversary. The Seahawks. I guess 76 was a good year. That was the year the world gave you guys me. So I could grow up and sell you guys coins. All right, next up, Indians. Sold a bunch of these in pre-sale. All right, first one up, we got two of these available. These are 18.99s. We have one in EF for 14. And one in good for 2. Here is the EF. Got that dark toning going on. And then here is the good. Oh, Jeep's taking the Philippines coin. You got it, sir. All right, moving on. All right, next up is 1906. We have two of these available. They're both VGs for $2 a piece. Hang on a sec. All right. Sorry, I was fixing something. All right. Oop, that's the wrong ones. All right, here is number one. Again, these are $2 a piece. Both in VG. If you talk about the quarter, it's just because they made so freaking many of them. Because they made them for 2 years. It was the 75s and the 76s. And if you don't have them in a set marked with the date, the only coin out of all of those you can tell the difference are the Ikes. Because the 75 had the narrow letters and the 76s had the big thick letters. All right, moving on. Next up, 1907 VG, also 2 available. $2 a piece. But most people, for the most part, that are like the bigger collectors, they're looking for the silver ones. They want that 40% silver quota. Actually undergraded this one. This one's a fine. Oh well. Yeah, if you can see all of Liberty, that's a fine on an Indian. Alright, moving on. Alright, and then the last 2 of these, also 2 available. These are 1908s in VG. $2 a piece. Next one up is our showcase coin. There's number 1. And that is a number 2. That was also almost a fine. Not quite. A little bit of those middle letters are missing, so not quite there. Wayne is taking number 2. You got it, sir. Excuse me. All right. If anybody wants any more of those Indians, let me know. All right, all 3 of the wheat cents went in pre-sale, so we are now on our showcase coin for the evening. And this thing is awesome. This is an 1865 nickel 3 cent in AU, graded by Rick Snow, and in Rick Snow's sealed holder. Check that out, guys. This thing's going for $130. Graded AU by Rick Snow. All right, there's got to be somebody that wants to add this. $130 is the best I can do on it. I'm breaking even as it is for what I paid for it. Going to Aaron. Congrats, sir. Where did you just put your card? Oh, I never pulled out your card. Your stack is sitting there without a card. Because that makes sense. There we go. right. Next up, here's another beauty. 1906 V-nickel in EF. Over 55 bucks. Check that out. How often do you see these things looking this good? I actually got this one from Rick too. It's just not in one of his holders. I got it loose. It's part of a little bundle that I bought from him. Anybody? If anybody's been wanting some nice, good quality vehicles, here you go. Extremely fine. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now you need to go get that 1913. Wow, nobody on this one. Really? All right, moving on. Not sure somebody would have wanted that. All right, 2 more coins left. All right, so these are both 1938 Denver Jefferson nickels, graded by Rick Snow. They're both BUs, but the first one is BU full steps. And it is 85 bucks. The other one is just a regular BU and it's 25 bucks. That gives you an indication of how much of a difference full steps makes. Anybody on the full steps? Gem BU. And then here is the other one. It's not full steps, but it's still a Gem BU for 25 bucks. And this is the last coin of the evening. So this is the $25 one. Anybody? Show these both next side to side. $38D full steps and not full steps. All right, recap. All right, banknotes. For the Serbia, we still have the 50 dinara and the 200 dinara. And we have all of the France. The 100 francs, 200 francs, and 500 francs notes. Anybody on banknotes? All right. Under your world silver, we still got the 1952 10-cent Canada in VF for $5. That's the only Canada coin still available. The 1975 Balboa Panama is still available. And the 1980 1-pound Egypt. You got it, Zeke. So anybody on Canada, Panama, or Egypt? While I mark Zeke's coin here real quick. Now again, if anybody missed it, that 1-pound Egypt only had a mintage of 90,000. That is a rare coin. And the first time I've ever had that particular coin. Throw it up again so you guys can see it again. It's this one. Gorgeous, gorgeous BU. 1980, 1 pound. 90,000 minted. $50. So that one's still available. All right, all the Australia except for the 1940, except for the 1942 plain date sixpence is the only one that sold. All the rest of the Australia is still available. Netherlands, the two 1936 10-cent EFs. 1938 10-cent AU and the 1941 AU 10-cent are all still available. Anybody on Netherlands or Australia? All right, the 1939 10 centavo Dominican Republic is still available. That was another low mintage one, only 150,000 minted. It's in a VG for $25. The 1901 shilling Britain is still available. And I had the silver on that one marked wrong. That's a sterling silver, not a 50%. Dominican Republic. Right here. 90% silver, VG, 150K minted. That's actually like that. Yeah, that's right side up, I think. I don't know. But yep, there it is. Alrighty. All right, and then the three coins from Austria are still available. Anybody on those? All right, then we got the 1899 EF Indian cents, the 1899 good, 1906 VGs, '07 VGs, and 108 VG Indian cent. Anybody on those? It's all good, man. And then, of course, that beautiful 1906 V-Nickel EF and 38 Denver Jefferson Nickel Gem BU. So, last call on everything. Last chance to ask about bundles, any of that fun stuff. You're very welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here then. Everybody, thanks for coming out. Have a great night, great weekend. And I will see you guys next month. Best price on the V-Nickel. I could go 50. That'd be my break even. You been it for 50? You got it, sir. Congrats, sir. All right, as always, give me some time to get all of the invoices out. Oh, where'd that go? There it is. Get Fino's card out real fast. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. And I will see you guys next week.